Hey guys, so I just came on here to share my memoir. So I'm just going to share a little excerpt of it just to give people something to anticipate. This has been a rough journey for me and something really difficult for me to write. So it's been years and years and years of working on it, changing the title, changing the cover, doing all kinds of changes to it, not knowing what I wanted to talk about. And of course, there's also the growth process. I'm not the same person that I was 20 years ago. Of course not, because I was 16. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago because I was 26. So, and I'm not the same person I was yesterday because in every single day of my life, I want to grow. So if you knew me yesterday, you don't know me today. So there's always something different going on. My mind is always into evolving, elevating. And then the elevation and evolution stages of life. We tend to lose things. So like the butterfly, when it evolves, it sheds its cocoon. It sheds the skin and all that. It goes through that process. We go through the same process too. As you start to elevate and evolve in your life, people are going to go. Either they go on their own or you make them go. They're just gonna go. And I feel that the people that they go on their own and you just disappear on their own, those are the people that just weren't meant to be a part of your journey. So if you were a part of my journey and you're not now, no hard feelings. It just, I'm going somewhere, and where I'm going, you're just not supposed to be there. But no hard feelings still, whatever, no beef, no nothing for me. I'm glad you're a part of the journey. You had to be part of the journey. Whether I hurt you, you hurt me, whatever happened. Like I said, no hard feelings. But these things have to happen in order for us to evolve and for us to grow. Every single day, people should be striving to grow. They should strive to be better than they were yesterday. And your only competition is you. So when you look in the mirror, there should be nobody that you're competing with but yourself. So it should not be, I'm trying to be like her, or, how does she do it? You can ask me how I did something, but don't try to copy me or do exactly what I'm doing. Do your own thing. Because at the end of the day, you trying to steal my recipe, but you don't have the sauce. The sauce is what makes it perfect, and you don't have it, which is me. So don't look at somebody else's success as the end or be all means of what success looks like. Because some people appear to be successful on social media, and they're really not. I know a lot of people who, they have their LLCs, but they didn't do the whole process to become an LLC. So yeah. So don't believe the hype of social media. People just post what they want you to know, or what they want you to see, and it's not the whole complete story. Yeah. So I have my memoir, the printed out version of it to share. And I'm only sharing because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I've been posting about it since the beginning of the month, and I'm going to continue to the end of the month, and sporadically throughout the whole year, because every day should be domestic violence awareness. 2 days ago, I did an awesome podcast with someone who reached out to me, and people are still reaching out to me, asking me to do interviews, radio shows, and all these things, and speak about, my experience as being a domestic violence. And what's shocking to me is that people still refer to domestic violence survivors as victims. And when that was said to me, domestic violence victim. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. No, I am not I am not a victim of domestic violence. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. Big, huge difference. Victims make, their circumstances all about them, and they don't see no positive and the negative. Survivors see the positive and the negative. Yes, I went through this, and what am I going to do about it now? I need to do something now. Yes, I went through things, and I'm not going to sit there and dwell about, well, I went through that, and he hurt me, and she did this, and she did that. Okay, all that stuff happened, can't change it, but life goes on. Half of those people that did things to me, they probably don't even care, probably don't even remember who I am. Or if they do, I don't want nothing from them. It's just like, I forgive you, I'm done, and that's it. I don't want nothing from you. So, this is my memoir. This is, so I'm actually using this to edit and revise, so that's why it looks all crazy. So, the title is, and I have been sharing it, it's called You Know My Name, Not My Story. So I chose the title because people think that they know me because you know my name. Most of the people that spell my name, write my name, or talk to me in the inbox, yet spell my name wrong. My name is Sherry with one R and an I. My name is my name on Facebook. My name is my name on ID. I don't understand how you see my name on Facebook, you see my name on my ID, and you still get it wrong. My name is Sherry, one R and an I. That's it. And it's Sherry. It is not Cherie. It is not Shari. It is not Cherry. My name is Sherry. So that's why I put the title. Like, people think that because they know your name, they automatically know your story. Just because they've been a part of a particular part of your story, they feel like they know the whole you. No, you don't. I can actually guarantee that there are 2 people that's on my friends list that have been with me for absolutely 30 plus years of my life, and those are the 2 people that actually know me inside and out, that actually know me. So everybody else that says, oh, I know you, no, you don't. And somebody's on, I don't know who it is. Hi, Barbara. So you know my name and not my story. I didn't write an acknowledgement page from it. I think I'm gonna take the acknowledgement, spruce this one. So I wrote acknowledgements for this book, Divine Assignment, which is a mini spiritual memoir. So this one is Divine Assignment, which is available now. So this one says, the acknowledgements for this one say, giving all honor to God, who is the head of my life. I am truly blessed to be able to even write this book. I have been on a journey of transformation for many years. The person that I am today had to go through things that would have killed the average person. I know that I am not average. I know that I was put here to do big things, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. I am living a very full and purposeful life. This life I live means so much more because of my passion and my purpose. I want to first thank all the people who have doubted me, lied to me, called me out of my name, and tried to destroy my character. In any other circumstance, I wouldn't acknowledge any of you. However, you are a great part of this story. Because of you, I'm so much stronger and wiser. Thanks for the lessons that you have taught me. I needed to know that everyone doesn't have great intentions. I needed to understand that everyone is not my friend. It's all good. I have forgiven and moved on from everything that was meant to break me. And I had to, because Romans chapter 12, verse 19 says, Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. And I'm a true believer in karma, true believer in the fact that it's written that God said revenge belongs to him. I don't have to do anything. Sometimes I get the front seat to witness the karma or the vengeance that is placed on these people, and the vengeance that I have seen is actually kind of sad. But listen, you reap what you sow. You want to do bad things to people, and bad things are going to happen to you, and if they don't happen to you, it's going to happen to someone close to you. So I'm a firm believer that you reap what you sow. You want to hurt people, somebody's going to hurt you. You want to, whatever you doing that's not acceptable in God's eyes, that is going to happen to you. So sometimes I have gotten to see or hear about people's vengeance, God's vengeance on people, or people's bad karma, and they expect me to have a sympathy or feel some kind of way about it. And it's just like, well, it's okay for you to do it to me and other people, but when it happens to you, now you're a victim. No. So continuing the acknowledgments, to the wonderful people who started on this journey with me or joined along the way, I thank you. Good morning, Donna. Thank you. There's so many of you to thank. Please don't blame my heart if you aren't listed. Know that I appreciate each of you. So I give the acknowledgments to my best friend, Thelma Carlos Vanessa Olenika Brown, and I say her whole name because she will kill me if I don't acknowledge her properly. We have been through so much in life, and we're still together. I wouldn't change any minute of our time as friends. Thank you for always having my back. Thank you for helping my children, and most of all, thank you and your family for inviting me into your lives and home. Then I acknowledge my dear husband, acknowledge my dear children, and that's the end of that acknowledgments. So this is the book, Divine Assignments, Living My Life of Purpose. It's a spiritual memoir, and this was available on my website, consultwithsherry.com, which I'm going to drop in the comments. Consultwithsherry.com. So many people have been asking me to purchase the book, and there's where you go to get it. And if you get ordered from there, it will come autographed with some goodies. So my website is in the comments if you're looking for that. So back to the reason why I came on live. So this is the memoir. Don't mind the crinkly pages. So I started telling a little bit about my childhood, but the story really starts when I turned 18 years old. And this memoir is not for, how do I say? The holier than now people, and the people that want to judge, or the people that want to say, and I heard people say this to me, I curse like a sailor. I really do. And I heard people say to me, my vocabulary, I must not be very smart because of the words that I choose to use. I'm highly intelligent. I have 2 degrees in a paralegal certificate. So I have a degree in computerized office technology, and I have a degree in political science. I'm highly educated. I choose to curse because that's the way for me to express my emotions. Do I need to? No. Have I said a single curse word in this live video? No. So I'm very highly educated. That's just I just choose to speak a certain way. Just couldn't believe somebody said that to me. But this was full of... So in order for me to write, I had to keep it real with myself. Like, I feel like if you're writing a memoir, if you're telling your story, keep it real with yourself. Like, don't even open up the can of worms of writing your story if you're not going to fully be in the story. Like, it's your story. So I'm just looking for a chapter to read. There's a chapter here about military life. Yes, I had joined the military when I was 21. I joined the military when I was 21, and I talk a little bit about that. So military life. In 2004, I was 21 years old. I decided to join the army, and I was sick and tired of being tired. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I wanted more from life. I was 21 years old, just graduated from college, and the year before. Actually, a month before I left for basic training, that's when I graduated college. So I graduated college December 2003. And I got my degree in computerized office technology, which is my associate's degree. And I was 20 years old. But I wasn't able to get a job. Even though I was applying while I was in school, like I was told. Even applying after school, and I wasn't able. So being unable to find a job is the story of my life, because I now have 2 degrees and a paralegal certificate and had not been able to find a job since 2012. I don't know what this is about, but I'm thankful for our experience. Entrepreneurship chose me. I didn't choose it. I was the one looking for a job, wanting a job, but obviously not being able to get one, it was just like, you know what, I'm tired of this. Let me make my own lane, create my own table. Kudos to Tyler Perry for creating his own seat at the table. He got a seat at the table so he could bring other people to sit at the table, and that's what I'm striving. I'm building my own seat, my own table, and I want to bring people to sit at the table with me. So joining the military was the answer I was looking for. I would be able to make money, travel, and go to school without taking out student loans, which I had to do a couple of times, which I'm $85,000 in debt. Yeah. So when I left January 2004, I was in a relationship with someone. I wrote the person often, and he sent me a few letters. But then all of that communication ceased. And of course, you know, being so far away, I'm from New York, and I was in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And of course, you become worried when you're so far away from someone. I couldn't just jump up and hop on a plane and go. Military life is stressful, having to worry about people back home. So it's like, I had all these things to concentrate in Missouri, but then I had all these other things to worry about back home. My life in the military didn't last long, and I learned in basic training some little secret, I guess. I can't close my left eye, and it's an interesting fact that's not funny. I don't know. And because I can't close my left eye, so for those people that don't know anything about guns and people that do, so you're not supposed to shoot a gun with both your eyes. Well, we were using M16s, so I don't know about small pistols. I never shot a pistol, but I shot an M16 and a saw and big guns, not small ones. So I don't know about pistols. Never used a pistol. So you can't use it with 2 eyes open. You gotta close one eye. So because of the fact that I could not close my eye, they had duct tape my eye. So this is my left eye, and I had a big piece of duct tape. So when you join the military, they take your glasses and they give you their glasses, same prescription though. So yeah, they duct tape my eye. So I had to walk around with duct tape on my eye at the gun range, and to qualify at the gun range at the time, I don't know if it's the same, but you had to shoot 23 out of 40, I believe. 23 out of 40 targets. Something like that. Don't quote me. As many times as we went to the gun range, I should have been able to pass my qualifications. We went there like, oh my god, and like, basic training was 9 weeks. Or 12 weeks, don't quote me, so long ago. Whatever weeks, we went there in a week. We probably would go there like 4 times a week. So as many times as we went, I should have been able to pass. And I did pass one time the day before the qualifications, when you got to shoot 23 out of 40. So I did pass the day before. But that didn't count, of course, because you got to pass on the day. But the day of my qualification, it poured raining. So literally, like, we were inside of a foxhole. So basically, it's like this big hole in the ground where you go down in the hole, and you're standing there and you're propping up your gun on sandbags, and you have to shoot from inside the hole. it's raining, so now all that sand is turning into what? Mud. So now we're getting dirty. Water's all pouring in my eyes. Like, how am I supposed to do this? So being in the pouring rain inside of a foxhole was one of the most miserable experiences in my life. I couldn't see nothing, and I was muddy, and I just knew that I was going home. And a part of me felt defeated, but a part of me was happy to go home because I could get back to my life. Military life wasn't all that bad. I made friends, and I learned about what loyalty really meant. Loyalty means, to me, you don't have to know somebody to be loyal to them, and that was the point. We didn't know each other. We just knew that we were all that we had, and you have no choice but to trust people to get you out of certain situations. They put us in situations where I only have you, you have me. How the hell are we gonna get out of here? Put us in situations where no soldier left behind. So if you see one of your battle buddies behind, you can't leave them. You have to go back for them, and it doesn't matter whether you like them or not. It doesn't matter male or female. You cannot. So there was plenty of times where I'm like, what? But I'm grateful for the lesson, and it amazed me to see people who just don't know each other acting as a team and accomplishing missions, and that's what it's all about. And I'm still the same way today. Like, I don't need to know you to collaborate with you and accomplish something. As long as the goal is the same, to accomplish the goal has to be the same. If some person has their own little outside agenda, it's just not going to work. And I learned that I didn't need to be the smartest or the best person at everything. And that's what some people do. I can't do something because I'm not smart. You don't have to be the smartest person. You don't have to be the most talented person. What you do is find people that can do what you can't do. So for me, I know that I can write. I can't design graphics. So what do? Collaborate with graphic designers. Hey, listen, you help me with this and I'll help you with that. You can find people that will help you get your mission out there because they are on the same mission as you. If I surrounded myself with people who could do what I couldn't, we would be unstoppable. Some of the stuff I learned I still carry with me. I could pack a lot of stuff in the smallest bag. They had us packing our whole lives into one duffel bag. I learned how to sleep standing up, which is something I still do. I learned hand-to-hand combat, so this is where they teach you, and your battle buddy is you're practicing with your friend or battle buddy, whoever. Sometimes it would be a friend, sometimes it would be a random person. And it's literally it's a fight for your life. And they teach you literally how to kill people. Where's the points on people's bodies, how to kill them. So yeah. And it's so true. The hands move faster than your eyes. So just something to think about. I also learned how to overcome some fears. I had no choice but to get over my fear of heights because we used to do obstacle course, and a lot of the obstacles were up high, and rappelling off a wall. Oh my god. So when you rappel off a wall, it's you walking down a wall with a rope. So some people jump. You might see firemen and cops jumping down the wall or walking. I wouldn't jump down a wall. Anyway, the point of rappelling is to get off a high platform to the floor. So my go around was really terrifying and traumatic. So when you're rappelling down a wall, there is to be people on the ground holding the rope. The rope is being held on top by something. You attach it to something on top, and then somebody on the bottom should be holding those ropes. So the person that was holding my rope, for whatever reason, he walked away. So when he walked off, I started swinging to the left. So the person that was up top, he was like, don't look down. I'm like, you're not supposed to tell people don't look down. Like, if you tell the person don't look down or don't do something, that's the first thing they're gonna do. So I did look down, and I'm like, oh, we're like 30 feet up in the air. How am I gonna get down if I'm swinging to the right and I need to be back on the board? So he had to coach me how to get back to the board. So part of being in the military period is following instructions, listening. Following instructions means life or death. You have to follow instructions. Listen, even in the most frightening, panicking moments of your life, you need to be able to listen. So if I didn't listen to him, I would have been done basically. So I listened to him. He told me how to get back over to him, and I did climb down the wall. I didn't want to climb down the wall. I was like, can I get off? And he's like, the only way to get down off the wall is to walk down. It's like, are you really seriously? Like, are you really seriously? And I do get dramatic sometimes. I really do. Are you really seriously going to make me walk down the wall? And he's like, that's the only way down. So I did it. He coached me all the way down, and, yeah. So learning all of this about myself was great, but I was so over waking up at 4 a.m. every day, so tired of sharing my room with females, so over the hard water Missouri. I absolutely, and maybe it's just me, I don't like drinking water in other states. I don't like using water in other states is really bad. Like, it tastes so bad. And I'm like, are we spoiled because we live in New York and we have the best water? Maybe. But that water in Missouri, it was so hard. It left bruises on me. And like I said, I'm spoiled with the New York water. I got sick twice, and I ended up staying in the hospital for a couple of days. Normally, I wouldn't want to have a hospital stay, but the hospital was the place to be. The hospital was the place to be in a military base and basic training for a couple of reasons. So when we were with our platoon, that's what they called them when you were all together as a platoon, then we couldn't eat what we wanted to eat. There was no TV, there was no phone access, and then when we did have phone access, it would be like each person got a 2-minute phone call. Like, we had to use payphones, but by the time we dialed somebody they picked up, it's already 2 minutes over. So at the hospital, I got to eat what I wanted and sit and be in peace. But overall, my vision was stretched. I got to see and meet different people. I got to experience a gas chamber, and the gas chamber, the whole point of that is for you to learn to trust your equipment. They teach you so often, so many times, how to put it on. So the test was, do you know how to put on your equipment? Are you trusting your equipment? Do you know how to use your equipment properly? So the gas chamber is, how can I say? If you walk into a gas chamber with no gas mask on, it's like you're walking into a room full of pepper. And we know that when we just sniff pepper, we start sneezing. That's what that felt like. But 10x that, and if you walk in there and you walk out the door really quickly, whatever's mucus and sinuses and whatever you got going on in your chest is going to come out. So you're going to come out of that gas chamber literally leaking mucus. It's going to clear your chest. So we had to go in there and say our first and last names and say our last 4 of our socials. So you do have to lift up your mask for a couple of seconds. So I did it, and it was just unbearable having all of that, breathing in all of that. But I did it, and we also got to learn how to use a bayonet. So a bayonet is a knife attached to your M16. So M16 is a rifle. I never want to see M16 again because we had to learn how to clean them, take it apart, clean them, name the pieces, put them piece by piece. I cleaned so many M16s in my life. I know how to put the thing to sleep, put the thing together in my sleep. I don't want to see them in M16. So the bayonet is a knife attached to your gun. Because sometimes, you know, in combat, things happen, bullets do get jammed, guns don't, they just don't work. So that bayonet is something that you attach to your gun so that you still have something to use in addition to your hands. So that's why you also learn hand-to-hand combat. By any means necessary, you're able to fight and defend yourself and your colleagues. I learned how to throw a live hand grenade, which I sucked at really bad. The hand grenades are heavy. A real live hand grenade is pretty heavy, heavier than a baseball. Softball, heavier than a softball. They're heavy. And once you pull the I don't know what it's called, but once you pull the plug out of it, you only got 5 seconds, and that's it. So we were throwing them over the wall, and I'm like, you know, when I was in high school, I had a pretty good hand playing softball, volleyball, and all these. No, that's a different kind of ball. You don't want to play around in. And with that, I learned the hand-to-hand combat. I had never known the world outside of New York City, and yet I was so ready to go back. I was so used to having my own freedom, but in basic training, you had none. You went everywhere with somebody. They always used to have a battle buddy, so you got assigned someone, and that was the person that you stuck with for the whole 9 to 12 weeks. So basically, you went to the bathroom with them, you sat with them. You didn't necessarily sleep with them. Like, we had, like, what do you call? We had this big rooms with all these bunk beds. So you didn't necessarily have to sleep with your person. Like, I was on the top, this one is the bottom. You don't necessarily do that. But you don't take a shower with them. But if we go out to different places, you gotta go to the bathroom with somebody. You're eating with this person. It was just ridiculous. Like, why I'm going to the bathroom with somebody? You couldn't just go to the bathroom by yourself. You had to ask for permission to go to the bathroom. You shared a shower with over 30 females, and that was really horrible because, as we know, the longer you leave the shower running, the water eventually turns cold. So it's just like, get in first or get in last. If you get in last, your shower's cold. Sharing showers. This is why I don't want to go to jail, because I don't want to share no shower with nobody. We had to learn to eat now, taste it later. So that's what I tell my sons when I'm in a rush. I'm like, eat now, taste it later. They're like, what does that mean? That means you eat your food and you just taste it on the way. We don't have time to sit there and savor our food. You literally gonna taste it later. It was just overwhelming being in an environment where you always had to be with people, and it just was, and I couldn't wait to go home. So eventually I did end up going home because, like I said in the beginning, I wasn't able to qualify with my M16. The M16 is it's the lightweight rifle. It's not heavy, it's lightweight. The fake ones, they have fake ones that are plastic. Those are heavy. But they're pretty lightweight. Would I do it again? No, absolutely not. So I commend all of those who have gone in the service, gave their lives to the military, still doing it. Kudos to you. But I tried. I failed. That was one of the things that I failed at in life. Things happen for a reason. Things happen for a reason. It really did. So that was my military life that most people don't know about. A lot of people don't know at all. It was just stressful. So I'm going to skip to another part that So some people don't understand domestic violence starts, or how do people get into domestic violence situations. So I have a snippet about how mine started. So it doesn't start off with somebody hitting you and doing whatever to you. Domestic violence doesn't start like that. It gradually turns from one thing to another. So it usually starts off as emotional abuse, where the person will say, call you names. Mental abuse, where they start, where are you going, who are you going with, you can't wear that, who are you talking to, who are you texting, let me see your phone. That stuff is being abusive, because you have the right to talk to, go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Especially if you 18 or older, you have the right to be and do whatever you want. You don't have to have somebody controlling every aspect of your life. Oh, what time you coming back? You said you was gonna be back at 10 o'clock. It's 10:01. What? So that's how that starts, and then from that it turns into most likely physical. But there are some people who are also in financially abusive relationships, where they are being cut off from money, or the person's always throwing money in their face and he's not giving them, and he's like literally keeping them on the leash with money. That is abuse too, my dear, especially if you're married, because once you're married, all of that's mine, goes out the window. So there seems to be some comparison of people going on, well, he don't hit me, so I'm not being abused. You are. You really are. If he calls you stupid, fat, and the B word and all these other things every single day of your whole relationship, you are. You are being abused. Oh, well, he doesn't call me stupid, but he just pushed me. A push, a slap, a kick is abuse. But he says that he's sorry, and he buys me a Louis Vuitton, like he buys you all the expensive gifts. He's paying you to abuse you. So I wish that we as women need to stop making excuses for these people. I'm about to say I'm not a man, but men too need to stop excusing us for our behavior. Because domestic violence, now I'm realizing, is not just a woman's issue, it's a man's issue too. They don't want to talk about it. But we need to talk about it, because we sit here and we say, oh, they should need to keep their hands to themselves, but you need to keep your hands to yourself too, females. I have seen in the streets of New York City women jumping up in men's face, hollering and screaming, throwing stuff at him, and they just be standing there. I've never seen a man hit a woman. I've never seen it. But I have seen women hitting, pushing men around, and they just be standing there. They be trying to walk away, and I'll be like, she just hitting, you're hollering, screaming, what? So women abuse men too. So we need to stop it. I never done it. Could have easily done it because of what happened to me, but I've never done it. So I'm saying we, because I'm a woman. We need to stop doing that. You need to stop saying that men shouldn't put their hands on us, but we put our hands on them. Like I said, I've never put my hands on a man before. But we shouldn't do that. Everybody keep your hands to yourself. That's what I'm saying. So domestic violence starts gradually with little stuff, and then they keep doing little things, trying to push a button to see how far can I push her. Unfortunately, some people got pushed to death. They died because they kept on accepting or kept on, this is what you're doing. You keep poking me. You poke someone to death. And then sometimes people end up, they kill the person and they kill themselves. So domestic violence starts with a dependency. So sometimes people, especially narcissistic people, they create the dependency for us to feel like, I became dependent on the fact that someone listened to me. I became dependent on the fact that he gave me money. I became dependent on the fact that he always wanted me to be around, which is a red flag, because you don't always have to be around your husband or boyfriend, girlfriend. You don't always have to be around that person all the time. And then I started to feel that if he ever left me, my life is over. And this is all written in my memoir. And how in the world did I let this man have complete control over my mind? It happens. So after a month and a half of complete and total bliss, the sky suddenly turned gray. So we were talking and I pushed him away jokingly. And the rage he showed scared the mess out of me. He yelled at me and made me feel like crap. He said that I was abandoning him just like everyone else. That's a guilt trip. This is what we call gaslighting, where they try to make you feel guilty about something that you have nothing to do with. And he said that, oh, he shouldn't trust me. And he said he knew that I was like everyone else. So the more he ranting and raving and yelling about that, is the more I felt guilty. Guilt trips are an awful form of manipulation. The person attempts to control another by making them feel bad. And it works because I was constantly taking on guilt trips only to end up doing things that he wanted me to do. As time progressed, I lost sense of who I was. I basically lived my life for him. As days turned into months, I grew miserable. The emotional abuse continued along with mental abuse. Then along comes the physical abuse. I wasn't walking around with black eyes and swollen lips. He was strategic in where he struck me. I have scars in places that aren't visible to people, but the scars are a constant reminder to me of the person I never want to be. The thing that really got to me was, how do I explain this to anyone? How do I tell someone that he was abusing me left and right? I had no explanation because it didn't make sense. I didn't know what domestic violence was. So remember, I am an 80s child. Domestic violence didn't have a name back then. I didn't see it. Didn't know what it was. So if any other people born in the 80s and before that, they know that whatever's going on in your house, you don't speak about it. It's just swept under the rug. So it didn't have a name when I was growing up. So what do you call this? What is this? I don't know what's happening. So just because it was happening to me, I didn't know what to do. My only thought, and this is what most people think too, how can I get this person back to the beginning? So that was my thought. How do I get him back to the sweet, gentle person that I met? But now that I know better, that wasn't going to happen. No matter how hard I tried. There is nothing you can do to get these people back to the same person that you met. Because sometimes they were never that sweet, gentle person that you met. Some people, they're just good at performing and putting on an acts. And then once they get you, they show their true colors. That's just some people. So over the time, the abuse grew worse. And yet all I could do is cry. And as I cried, I listened to, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. It was pure craziness. And yet, I allowed him to suck me into his demented, hateful world. So, I think this video is long enough, so I'm going to stop this video and do another one. It's for domestic violence awareness. Thank you, whoever joined, for letting me share pieces of my memoir.